that was really the thing of beauty. When you think about it, I mean, I thought both teams played extremely hard defensively, and we just offensively we were woeful and weren't aggressive. Didn't do anything that we had talked about we wanted to do on the offensive end consistently. We wanted to get to the free throw line, and we did, but could have gotten there more. Early in the game, I thought we missed some shots that we needed to play, and we got down, and it was obviously point guard play. What we had 10, 11 turnovers between that position, and it's tough to win when you turn it over like that. And they turned it over 22 times themselves, but obviously I'm more concerned with us, and the way we turn it over is just, again, it goes against what we talked about, what we wanted to do, and we just didn't do it. And I think you got to give South Carolina credit, but I just thought we were really tentative, and I didn't enjoy watching our team play tonight because we just, I thought it was the first time all year that we were really tentative for long periods of time, and that's what was really disappointing.
How much of that was South Carolina being such a good defensive team?
Well, again, I think you look at them, and they are a good defensive team. We're a good defensive team, and again, they between the two teams, they had 22 turnovers. We had 22 turnovers, but a lot of it had to do with South Carolina because they're the ones that are standing between us and the basket, the ones that are making us stand around, thinking us out of what we need to do because we don't move the ball. We felt where the ball is just starting to stick too much, and that's what's really disappointing.
Coach, you cautioned everybody that Jordan Bone, after missing 9 games, just going to be able to plug himself back in where he left off. Is that kind of what we're seeing right now? Is he still trying to?
Well, I think, yeah. Again, he's got to listen better. You know, his teammates are, they were trying to help him a lot too tonight, and you saw the first play of the game, the kind of speed he can put on people and create some things, but he just has to make better decisions. I mean, his decision making is just not good. But the fact is, he's got to listen better, and it's that simple. He's got to do that, and I can't ask the team after the game why we don't do this or that, and guys respond that they don't know what we're doing because that directly goes back to the guard play. It's up to the guards to make sure that we're getting into what we need to get into, and we just didn't do that.
Who is the team at all affected by the stuff with the injury?
Not really, not at all.
Rick, without Dietrich out there, that sort of playmaking ability on offense, that shot maker, was that something that obviously the team's going to have to adjust to?
No, we can talk about Dietrich, and he didn't play very well in Florida Saturday. He's a non-factor there. He's been a non-factor in games this year. He hasn't shown. He's either, if you really think about it, you guys have watched him. He was either feast or famine, and so. The one thing he did where he'd gotten better was, but no, and again, he hates more than these guys playing against pressure. And I mean, that's why he struggled at Florida Saturday. So again, it wouldn't have been a difference because again, South Carolina, they pressure better than anybody that we've played and do a better job. And again, he, like our guards, they haven't shown they want to play against that kind of pressure.
At this point in the season, what are your thoughts on the on-court leadership?
It still needs to get better, obviously, but we still have a lot of young guys that are learning that this is a lot harder than they probably could imagine. Try to go score a basket and or fight for your space on the floor and fight to get open. Little detail things, and that's what we didn't do tonight at all. We didn't do anything to set up cuts. We didn't do anything to. Again, we got to the free throw line. We did that, but again, I think some of it's a learning process for some of these guys. There's no question about that, but it's just disappointing that we didn't execute. I think you got to give South Carolina all the credit for it. I do. I think that coming in, I knew it was going to be a game like, I knew it would be an ugly game because I knew both teams would get after each other defensively. And then we talked about the little breakdowns, like you can't let a 6'11" guy get the ball and dribble the length of the floor when you're coming from behind. You can't have a guy down and have a guy open behind you and nobody knows he's back there. You can't drive to the basket and try to alter layups when there's not even anybody making a play at the ball. We gave up too many. Just, I mean, as bad as that is, it's a 10-point game, and but we've got to, again, I don't want to take anything away from South Carolina, but I think they're really, really good. I think they're really, really good, and I think Frank's done a terrific job with his team. But we've got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot too.
Do you feel like your guys have regressed since the way they played in some of those games in December? And is that disappointing, or do you expect that with the
No, I think what happens as the season goes on, I think teams get better. I think that a team like South Carolina that's 13-3 and they haven't lost with Cornwell out of the lineup. You know, they've been there. They were a team last year that was right there. Our league's better than people think it is, but the key is, you know, is there more room for us to get better? Absolutely, absolutely. But our guard plays regressed. I can tell you that. I mean, we haven't had that the problems we've had the last two games, and maybe it's my fault trying to get Bone in there quicker than he's ready. But it's obvious teams are teeing up against us on the perimeter and trying to get after our guards. And when you're being pressured, you got to beat the pressure. You got to go score, make somebody help, make a simple pass, and we still just not handling the ball the way we need to. But the fact is, we've got to get better.
Rick, you said you guys didn't do anything to set up cuts to the basket. When you're shooting that poorly from behind the arc, does that make it even that much more difficult, I guess? And then part two would be, I think some of the South Carolina writers noted that it's their first 3-0 start in league play in 20 years, and you've referenced what Frank has been able to do in building that program. Maybe how rare is that patience, and how do you balance the patience needed to get a program there versus the desire to try and win as much as possible now?
Well, that's the hardest thing. I want to win right now. And again, I think that in a 40-minute game, if you do what you need to do, you don't beat yourself, you can win it when you go out. Certainly, I believe that. I believe in a 40-minute game, you know, you see it all the time, where teams that you don't think can win, but it's when 5 guys think is one. And if you don't get that, when you know that you're smaller and there's not a lot of room for error, and then you play the way you play. But I think that you have to build that in, guys. I think that's part of when you have young guys, you've got to make them understand they've got more to win right now. And I believe you have to teach that. I don't think you can stand before them a game and say, you know, we're building something for the future. Because I think all we've got is the next game, and I think that they've got to have the will. And I mean, I've had teams like this before, to be honest with you, and you coach them like you'd coach a team that, if you had a team that was ranked number 1 in the country. We got 40 minutes here, we got to go out and win this basketball game. So whether it's being patient or whatever, I just think that it goes back to what I said. There's a process that you're going through, and you got to get better every day, and we will, because I think we got a good group of guys. Again, some of the things we did tonight, if we don't listen now, we'll struggle. If we listen, we're going to be okay. And I really believe that with these guys, because when you battle as hard as they're battling, it's going to happen for us.
And then my question is probably too long, but just the outside shooting, the difficulties there, and how much it impacted the rest of your
Again, I think that it's setting your shot up and getting out running, moving, passing. Passing has so much with it. You know, we drove like we wanted to, threw some passes, and we're not getting. I mean, they're off. You know, we're not delivering the ball where it needs to be to help guys, and then we're making too many like Bowden and Bone tonight tried to make these over the top passes that they're not going to be there because you play against teams that collapse and close as quick as they do. We did. That's why we were in there. We were able to knock it loose. Passing is a lost art, and we've got to get better at that.
Let's do rival one more if we got it.
Coach, you came out of the gates smoking at Texas A&M. Now these 3 losses. With so many young guys, do you worry at all about confidence?
No, because we're going to spend enough time with them. We're going to keep talking to them, and I think the one thing they know is we're not going to stop working. And we know we've had to fight through some injuries this year. We know that. We've had to figure all that out. And at this time of year, you'd like to be able to be rolling. Again, it's our job as coaches to keep getting these guys better, to keep doing our game plan. And we go back, and I'll look at what I did or didn't do in terms of truly getting them to understand that how we've got to run our offense the way we need to do it. But I just think we've got too much character on this group. With this group, that these guys, they're not going to quit playing. And they realize it's a long way to go, and we're working towards being a better team.
Last one.
Rick, with Dietrich out of the equation now, is there any way you'd rethink Jalen Richard?
Mike, that's a great question. I kidded with the coaches, and I said, maybe we should take the red shirt off of Jalen. I don't like. He's not ready for the physicality of that game. He's not ready right now to do that. He's not. But it's funny you said, because I actually had said that to the coaches before the game started, watching him out there. And but a game like this would have been a very difficult game for him, because believe me, he has never played in a game as physical as what we just played. But you know what? We'll move forward. We'll find out what we need to do. And again, we're 4 games in, and we're going to find a way.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.